An acclaimed Americana performer who's graced stages from Florida to his home state of Illinois for decades celebrates the release of his debut studio album this month. Here to tell us about it is singer-songwriter Patrick Hagerman. Patrick, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ann.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time.
A long time coming. And so you have been writing songs, performing for about 3 decades.
Yeah, I would say somewhere between 25 and 30 years. I started when I was really young, playing like Irish music around my hometown of Springfield, Illinois. So that was my first performance experience in my teens. And it's been a long road to here, but I'm glad we're here.
And so tell us why it takes long to create a studio album like this one, and what it means to have this, to reach this milestone.
I think for me, it was accumulating songs and experience over time and being able to, with this album in particular, gather the songs I thought that fit a narrative and then be in a position creatively, having some assistance financially from fans and loved ones and supporters to go in and make the record that I've wanted to make. I've tried to make records before at a musician friend's home or on my own, and just it kind of, the creative process didn't work properly. Going into a wonderful studio, and we went to St. Augustine to Retrophonics recording studio there to make this record, and everything just kind of felt right and came together.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful sound. I want to take a listen to one of the singles off the new release. It's called Evelyn. Well, let's take a listen and then we'll come back and talk about it.
All right.
Taking it slow. Might be the devil, I know, but if she's the devil, I sure feel bad for God. Likes her tequila, don't get too tired. Her love language is a Marlboro Light and a honky-tonk band on a Tuesday night in a bar you never heard of. Evelyn, make me wanna holler like a Rin Tin Tin. We go together like money and sin. I gotta win your heart somehow. Evelyn, wind me up and turn me loose. Run me in circles like a duck, duck, goose. I'm wrapped around your finger now.
So amazing lyrics there. I love her love language as a Marlboro Light. It's really evocative. And so, you've been compared in your style and your songwriting skill to John Prine, Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt. Who are your musical idols?
Well, you just named 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
John Prine, probably, of that group, is my biggest influence. I don't know if it's because we're both Illinois-based songwriters. I got to see him when I was 18 years old, and then a number of times after that. But I grew up in a house that had a Johnny Cash record next to a Beatles record, next to a Paul Simon and Garfunkel record. So I grew up with some pretty cool music in the home. My dad loved country music, and my mom was more into the folk music of the 60s. So all of those influences kind of come together. And then I found Midwestern alternative country like Uncle Tupelo and what turned into Wilco, the old 97s, a lot of that in my late teens that really influenced me, and the Grateful Dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a wide range, but all very authentic voices. And are your songs rooted a lot in personal experience? Are they more sort of fictionalized narratives?
Yeah, especially with this record, most of them are personal experience, with the exception of, I think, one song, which is called Valdosta Women, which is about the Valdosta women's riots post-Civil War.
It's an extraordinary story. So how did you hear about that? I'd never known about that before I heard that song.
I had writer's block, and it was during COVID lockdown, and I took a road trip, and I said, the first sign that I take notice of, I'm going to figure out how to write a song about that. And I saw a sign that said Valdosta, Georgia, and I Googled historical events in Valdosta, Georgia, and that's what popped up, and I wrote a song about it.
It is a wild story. And so this event that we're talking about, there's an album release that you're doing at Tuffy's Music Box in Sanford, and that's on the 22nd.
Correct.
But locally, you're doing You got your shirt on from the Blue Jay listening room.
Yeah.
The owner helped produce this album.
She did.
And so this is a performance that you're doing in an album release on May 23rd. Tell us what to expect, because you're playing not solo, right?
No, it'll be a full band performance. The musicians that made the record with me, which are all just wonderful musicians. There's too many to list off right now, but there's a ton of great musicians coming to join me at Blue Jay. Rock Helton, my good songwriting buddy from Dunedin, Florida, is going to open the show. And, anytime you get to play the Blue Jay stage, it's a really special occasion, and it's just my favorite room to play in the whole world. So I'm happy I get to do it there.
All right. Well, we're going to play out with a song called Roberta. Patrick Hagerman, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations again.
Thanks for having me, Ann.